were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king.
Right? So those 10 tribes from Ephraim on down, including a portion of Levi, right? Go ahead.
Whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
Right?
And he carried them over the water, and so came they into another land. Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude.
They did what?
Leave the multitude.
They left because most of the people
at this time, they were dwelling in the eastern hemisphere, right? But that's where multitudes of people were, and this stock of people left the multitudes of people, but why?
Of the heathen, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
So our people were the first people to come over to the so-called Americas. We were the first people to establish civilizations over here, right? We were the first people over here doing trades with other people from the eastern hemisphere, right? Go ahead.
That they might there keep their statues.
They might what?
Keep their statues, which they never kept in their own land.
So they came over here to try to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments that they couldn't keep on the other side because, as it said, give me Hosea 4:17. The northern kingdom started to go off into idolatry, right? When they was around the multitudes of people. Now Judah started to do the same. They followed after that, but the northern kingdom was consumed with idolatry, right? Bring it out.
Hosea 4:17. Ephraim is joined to idols.
Ephraim is what?
Joined to idols.
So when it says Ephraim, it's referencing the whole northern kingdom. And when it says Judah, it's referencing the whole southern kingdom, right? Go ahead. Sometimes it says Israel too when it's referencing the northern kingdom. Go ahead.
Let him alone.
Do what?
Let him alone.
So at one point, the whole northern kingdom was joined into idols, and the Most High said, "Leave them alone, bro, because they got something they have to fulfill too, and they gonna go so far left, they gonna come back right too. But right now, at this time, leave them alone, right? Okay, go ahead.
And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood, till they were passed over. For though the country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half, in the same region is called Esdras.
So Esdras, if you go into history, you'll know that Esdras is America, right? So they journeyed from the left side of Africa all the way from the bottom to the Americas, right? And it took them a year and a half to do that. Okay, now I want you to read this excerpt. So the northern kingdom, which is Ephraim on down, Ephraim and Manasseh is Joseph's sons. So if they reference Joseph, they're talking about the tribes of Manasseh and Ephraim, the first two tribes right there, the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans. Right. Okay, go ahead. I want you to start right here. Yeah. I want you to start right here. I want you to read this, and then we're gonna jump in. Okay, start right here.
This is a lost tribe discovered in New York, page 363. Upon his return to Cartagena, the Judaizing Montezino had found himself accused by the Inquisition and put in prison. Praying for salvation in his cell one day, he was reciting what was by then a standard formula.
So he had automatically come up with this formula in his head
to recite when he was praying for salvation. Well, watch what he says.
Among the New World Moranos, blessed be the name of the Lord, who has not made me an idolater, a barbarian, a Negro, an Indian. When suddenly he stopped.
What?
Suddenly he stopped.
So this is a Spaniard, and when he's praying to God, he said, blessed be the Most High, who didn't make me an idolater, a barbarian, a Negro, an Indian, and then he stopped. And what did he say after that?
Those Indians, he told himself, they are the Hebrews.
They are what?
They are Hebrews.
So those Indians that he said that the Most High didn't make him, they are the Hebrews, right?
Pondering this thought incredulously, And yet, with growing conviction, he resolved that if he ever was released, he would seek out the Indian Francisco and try to learn the truth.
Okay, now jump down to
Start reading right here. No, start right here.
The woman got off and spoke to Francisco in an Indian tongue that Montezino could not understand, although he could perceive that he was being identified in the conversation.
Now somebody saying they was speaking Hebrew and he didn't speak Hebrew because he was a Spaniard. Right, go ahead.
Upon hearing her words, they rose, went over to Montezino, and in his utter astonishment said, Shema, Yisrael, Adonai, Elohim, Adonai Ehad, meaning, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. They had recited in Hebrew.
and what?
In Hebrew.
And what?
In Hebrew.
So these Indians were speaking Hebrew, right? Go ahead.
The fundamental credo of Judaism. A brief conversation then ensued in their common ancestral tongue, according to Montezino, whose fluency in it is almost as perplexing to the reader of his narrative as if that of his three mysterious new companions.
Okay, come. I tell you. Shalom.
Shalom. They told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben.
Hold on. What they say?
They told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben,
Go ahead.
and that the tribe of Joseph lived on an island nearby.
So they told him that they were from the tribe of Reuben, and Joseph, which was Manasseh and Ephraim, lived on an island close by. And this was in the Americas. So the Indians that were here, they were of the stock of the tribe of Israel, right?
Yeah, this was mid 1600s in New York.
Yeah, 1644.
Yep.
Right.
What book? What are you reading from?
Lost Promised Land.
Yeah,
Promised
the Lost
Land. I got your
Tribes and
copy.
Promised Lands.
Okay.
The origin of American racism.
Done.
Okay.
This is origins of the American Indies, European concept 1492 through 1729. B.E. Colors.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump down to the Mexicans are originally of the 10 tribes captured by Salmanezar and of the family of Issachar, whom the Indians recognize as their special ancestors.
Right? So not only is it the biblical prophecy that we use to identify these people and these tribes, history and historians tell us that these people were our people.
That's right.
Right? Says you got another question? You've been very inquisitive, so
Can I take a picture of that book?
I'll praise it.
Thank you. So my question for you guys.
Get that one too. That's a good book. I don't know
I'll
if you
take
took
the
a picture.
pictures
Okay.
first.
And Philo as well.
So I take it. Are you Jewish?
Let's
What do you identify? Or there's no identification? Or is there just a certain belief in the biblical scripture?
Give me Revelations 3 and 9. Con, we're gonna do the word. So you asked me was I Jewish, right?
Do you believe culturally? I guess religiously, I suppose.
Well,
Do you assume to be a part of Judaism?
Give me the Revelation 3 and 9. Give me Psalms 147 and 19.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. If I called you a child, am I saying you're a child? If I call you childish, am I saying you're a child?
I guess it depends. But maybe not.
Can a grown man be childish?
If you a grown
Childlike.
woman, right? It's what? What is it?
Childlike.
So that doesn't mean that he's a child.
Right.
That means he's acting like a child.
Exactly.
So if they're saying that they're Jewish,
They're acting like Jews.
they're acting like Jews. Now, the term Jew, where does that derive from? I give you a hint.
Judah.
Right. So to be a Jew is to be from the tribe of Judah or the kingdom of Judea.
Right.
So I would say that I am a Jew. I'm not Jewish. I'm not acting like a Jew. I am a Jew, right? They would say that they're Jewish because they know that they are Ashkenazi and Sephardic converts to Judaism, not born of the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So I want you to watch this.
Revelations 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan.
What are they?
The synagogue of Satan,
Uh-huh.
which say they are Jews
They say they are Jews
and are not,
and are what?
and are not,
Go ahead.
but do lie.
But what?
But do lie.
Uh-huh.
Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
So those people that say that they are Jew or Jewish, they're lying, and the Most High knows it. And at some point, they're going to come and worship at our feet, right? Give me Psalm 78 and 5.
This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary.
Right.
Jew, originally denoted one belonging to the tribe of Judah.
That's it. So, so in order to be a Jew, again, you have to be from the tribe of Judah or from the kingdom of Judea. So once the kingdom was split and it was established, Benjamin as well as Levi were also referenced as Jews, right? Because Paul is from the tribe of Benjamin and he references himself as a Jew. Not because he's from the tribe of Judah, because he's from the kingdom of Judea, right? Okay, go ahead.
Psalms 147.
And 19.
This is Psalms chapter 147, verse 19.
Uh-huh.
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
Unto who?
Unto Jacob.
So those 12 tribes.
Those 12 tribes, I don't know why I keep doing that. Those 12 tribes will be referenced as Jacob, right? Go ahead.
His statutes and his judgment unto Israel.
Unto who?
Unto Israel.
Uh-huh.
He has not dealt so with any nation.
So this is the heritage. This is the inheritance, the heritage, the customs, the statutes, the legacy, the lineage. It's the Bible. We don't look at this as a religion. This is our ancestors. This is our history. This is our culture, right? From Genesis to Revelation, all of these prominent men of renown, are related through us through blood in some type of way. They all descend back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, as we do, right? Go ahead. I think that's it on there, right? Give me that right there, 14.
This is Psalms 148, verse 14. He also exhorted the horns of his people.
Of who?
Of his people.
Of our people.
Of his people.
Uh-huh.
The praise of all his saints. Even of the children of Israel. A people near unto him. Praise ye the Lord.
Hallelujah. What you got?
Psalm 78 and verse 5. For he established a law, he established a testimony in Jacob,
And who?
Right.
and appointed a law in Israel.
And who?
In Israel,
Keep going.
which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in God and not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments.
But what?
Keep his commandments.
So we know and understand that the children of Israel have a responsibility. We've been charged with a job. Just give me John 19, I think 20. Right? We know that these people, and you give me Romans 9, and I might even let you go in. You know what I'm saying? You know. Let me see.
I got it.
Go on.
This is Exodus chapter 19, verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Right? Give me you can get that Romans 9 and then let me back on that, get that 1 Peter 2 and 9. John 19. Let me see.
Really?
Either one of them.
15. John 21 and 15. So when they had dined, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these?
Do you love the Most High God? Okay. We as men, right, have been allotted with a permanent, right, responsibility given to us by our Messiah.
That's right.
Right. Go ahead.
Him said unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, Feed my lambs.
Do what?
Feed my lambs.
So we have to feed the sheep. We have to come out here to the highways and byways. We have to lift up our voice like a trumpet. We have to show our people their transgressions. That's our job. And let me take that back. That's our profession, right? An occupation is something you use to occupy your time. This is not anything that we're using to occupy our time. This is something that we were born to do.
That's right.
This is what we have to do.
That's right.
Right? We can't have an occupation and choose not to go to work. Choosing not to do this is damning yourself and the people that you're supposed to be reaching, basically to everlasting damnation. So their blood then will be on our hands. We are watchmen. He set up us as watchmen over the nation, and we have to pour into our people to let them know who they are, and to get them to come back to law, statutes, and commandment, and keep that as the apple of their eye, as we are the apple of the Most High. Right? Go ahead.
This is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye shall show forth the praise of him who has called ye out of darkness into his marvelous light, which in time past were not a people.
Were what?
Were not a people.
And right now, like before you came up here, you said you were black. But now you know, is your father a so-called black man?
Question.
No.
He's not?
No, because she's saying because she knows now that she's not black.
Well, I'm saying,
I mean,
So
maybe to
called.
him.
So-called.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I said so-called. The world would call him a black man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would his father be called a black man?
Mhm.
So that means, sister, you would be a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
And knowing and understanding that is things that come with that, right? You said you love God, but how do you love God?
How do I know?
Right.
I praise God.
By praising Him?
I praise God. I pray to God. I talk to God.
Okay. We're gonna show you something here in a minute. Go ahead.
But are now the people of God.
Now you know that you're the people of God. You're not black. That's a crayon color.
Now you know that you are a princess of the Most High God, a daughter of Zion, a chosen generation, and there's a responsibility required of you, right? Go ahead.
Which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy.
Give me, what is that? Deuteronomy 33 and 5?
I got one second.
I think it might be 19, 33 and 19. What you got?
Hosea 1 and 10. Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living God.
Right here in this same place that we would call black, Negro, African American, nigger, all these different bywords. This same place, we're telling people that they're kings and priests on the earth, sons of the Most High God, daughters of Zion, right? Children of Israel, a chosen people near unto the Most High God. Yep, that's what I want.
This is Exodus chapter 33, verse 19. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious.
Will be what?
Be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on him. Show mercy on him on whom I will show mercy.
Right, so he will be gracious and show mercy. Give me Deuteronomy 5 and 3. Who he will have, I think, after you give me Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 15.
Sure.
So, okay, I'll let you.
I said, well, I want Deuteronomy 5 and 3 first. And then you,
Yeah, I got Deuteronomy 5.
You holding it right now?
You said, you mean 1 John 5:3?
No, I want to do the running.
Oh, but you did ask for this, didn't you?
I did.
Okay.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 3. The Lord made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are all of us here alive this day.
That's not what I wanted, but that's what we said too. Right? I think it's Deuteronomy. Go ahead with the 1 John, because she said she loved the Most High God.
This is how you love God. 1 John 5:3, starting verse 2.
5 and 10, that's what I mean.
By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments.
When we do what?
Love God and keep his commandments.
So to love God is to keep his commandments. For example, say you're in a relationship, right? And your significant other says, I love you, I love you. They keep telling you they love you. But they beat on you, they cheat on you, they mistreat you, they don't honor you, they don't respect you. Do they really love you?
No.
No. So how can we say we love God when he's given us an ordinance of commandments to keep and we're not keeping them?
Right.
If we really love God, we would keep his commandments. Give me John 16 and 15. And watch this.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 10. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
And do what?
And keep my commandments.
So his mercy is to them that love him and keep his commandments. It's a covenant and contract things, give and take. I love you off the rip because I chose you.
That's right.
But if you're not doing what's required, it's just like you have children. Okay, you somebody daughter.
Yes.
Right. If you was living in your mother's house, not abiding in your mother's commandments, what would happen?
I get kicked out.
You will get what?
I would get kicked out.
Our homeland is Jerusalem, and we're not there.
Hold on. Let me get it. Hold on.
I mean, that's a big thing, but I was a good kid, so I felt.
No, I'll praise it. And Yahweh willing, you're gonna be a good Israelite now, right? Knowing who you are, right? What you got? Go ahead.
This is Christ speaking, John 14 and 13.
Right.
And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, keep my commandments.
If you what?
If you love me, keep my commandments.
That's what I want. I don't know what I call it.
You said 16, John 16.
That's what I wanted. Keep loving me,
Oh,
keep my
okay,
commandments.
okay.
14, 15.
This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 5.
Ah.
Be of good cheer, my people,
Uh-huh.
the memorial of Israel.
Right.
Ye were sold to the nations,
You were what?
sold to the nations,
Uh-huh.
not for your
But
destruction,
not for your destruction, sis.
but because ye moved God to wrath.
But because you moved God to wrath or anger.
Ye were delivered unto the enemies,
Uh-huh.
for ye provoked him that made you by sacrifice unto devils,
Uh-huh.
and not to God.
So we moved the Most High to wrath. That's why I said, even for us to be over here with them, we did it. We were disobedient, right? We didn't listen to the Most High God, and we had to pay for that. And that's how we ended up on this side of the globe, right? Via transatlantic slave trade. We supposed to be in Jerusalem right now. Sister, the scriptures say that your feet are so delicate they didn't touch the ground. They used to carry you around everywhere you went.
Right?
Because you're royalty. But now, our sister's feet busted. Just call it what it is, right? I mean, I don't know how you got your Crocs on. I ain't gonna say yours.
No,
I'm saying,
I get your point.
right.
I'm making fun.
We're saying that to say our sisters have been subject to hardship
Busted.
all through disobedience, right?
You can tell she was hard working.
Strike a match on them joints.
Oh my god. Wrong.
My bad.
Terrible.
You said it, I agree with you. Good. But that's the give me what you holding?
Wisdom of Solomon. I can't remember.
4 and 15.
Hold on
And
before you
somebody
go
give me
there. Hold on.
Isaiah 32 and 9.
Hold on before you go there. Hold on.
Okay, come.
Uh,
Isaiah 32 and 9.
Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16.
Bring it out.
Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty,
Oh, what?
and,
Right, rolling their eyes, right? You know what I'm saying? One-ton eyes. Go ahead.
and walking with stretched forth necks, and wanton eyes,
Right.
walking and mincing
Twerking.
as they go,
Right.
and making a tinkling with their feet.
Heels.
Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown.
That's why sisters ain't got no edges. Alopecia. Because they want to walk around with an attitude, can't nobody tell them nothing, twerking their neck, rolling their eyes. This is the Bible saying this. It says that our women were going to be like this, and because they're like that, I'm going to snatch their edges. They're not going to be able to grow hair. What else though? Because there's more. Go ahead.
With a scab the crown of the head
Right.
of the daughters of Zion,
Right.
and the Lord will discover their secret parts.
Go ahead.
And that day the Lord will take away their bravery of their tinkling, of their ornaments about their feet, and their curl of their round tires, like the moon.
Right.
The
Big
chain,
loop earrings that y'all sisters like to wear. All that's going to be taken away. Go ahead.
the chains and the bracelet and the mufflers,
Right.
the bonnets and the ornaments of the leg, and the headband and the tablet and the earrings.
Right. So all this is basically going and showing all the different glory our sisters used to be allured with. All these different accessories and ornaments and fabrics and hairstyles and hair accessories, nose accessories, all these different things that we used to have, or our women used to wear, was going to be taken away. And instead of that, it's going to be something else. Let's keep going.
Tablets and earrings, and the rings and the nose jewelry and the changeable suits of apparel and the mantle and the whitening and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils, and it shall come to pass.
So this is what's going to happen. Instead of all that he just named, this is what y'all going to have instead.
That instead of sweet smell, there shall be a stink.
That shall be what?
There shall be a stink.
So instead of, because our women used to soak themselves for hours in a tub with different fragrances.
They used to have like other
Bathers,
bathers and
right?
servants.
It's called, what they call it when they, what Esther and them had to do when they purify them, right? Basically, you know, they would sit in the tub and they would purify themselves for hours, right? So their smell would be so delicate and prominent throughout the house, right? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And instead of a girdle, a rent.
A what?
A rent.
Right?
And instead of well set hair, baldness.
So instead of a girdle, a gut, right? And instead of well set hair, baldness. Which sister, you have some beautiful hair. You have to be an obedient child. You can do something right. Right? Go ahead.
And instead of a stomacher, a grated of sackcloth,
Right.
and burning instead of beauty.
And burning instead of beauty. Right? Go ahead.
Thy man shall fall by the sword.
Now what?
Thy man shall fall by the sword.
And your brothers or your men are gonna get shot down in the streets. Right? Go ahead.
And thy mighty in the war. Listen.
Read the last 26.
And her gate shall lament
Uh-huh.
and moan, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground.
And that is very ironic that you're sitting on the ground, sis. You know what I'm saying? Because you are a part of that stock. Now you may not have been subject to everything that's in that spill, but right now you're a representation of the daughters of Zion. And we brought out a precept, and you're sitting on the ground as the scripture said. You can't make that up. That's spiritual, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Miles Apparel, I think it's 2 Timothy, I think it's chapter 3. It might be chapter 2.
Man, it was something, I don't know if it was that, but I had read something about like the daughters of Zion, how they envy They had the most beautiful hair.
Judah 10 and 19.
Through the 10 and 19,
Mhm.
they had the most beautiful hair, but they envied the other nations.
Oh no, that's not what I don't know.
And because of that, they got cursed because they, I don't know.
But Judah 10 and 19. But read that Isaiah 32 and 9 first.
Isaiah 32 and 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease.
Do what?
Rise up, ye women that are at ease.
The Most High is telling our women to rise up, right? Our women that is making America out. This is not our place of rest. This is punishment for us. This is captivity. You should not be at ease here. You should not fall in love with the different philosophies that they have to offer you.
Living a hot girl summer.
Living a hot girl summer, or being exalted in the workplace, or at some point you weren't even working, and now our women want to be the boss. They want to be equal with the man or above the man, right? Independent from the man. No other nation of people, women want to be independent from their man except ours.
Have you ever heard of a strong Asian woman?
Right. Right. You ever heard of a strong, independent white woman? You ain't never heard of that. That don't exist. That's only our people, right? Because that's a part of the Willie Lynch I brought you up. I told you about earlier, to keep the men and the women at odds, right? So what did they do? Give me Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. What did they offer our women to keep them at odds with the man? In order, what did during the 60s and 70s, what was the government offering our women? Even today still, but when did it start?
Yeah, when
What they offer women
Right.
to keep a job? I don't know.
Yep.
Okay, kinda. Their job was staying at odds with the man,
Right.
but they offered them free housing, food stamps, WIC, right? Child support. As long as you at odds with this man, then, for lesser words, white daddy or the government will take care of you. I'll raise your kids. Man, you can do them. You don't need the man.
It really started during that time where all the men went off to war, and you had the white woman with the
We can
Well,
do
it started with
the women in the factory job.
Yeah.
we were as a nation fighting for civil rights,
Right.
and then the serpent beguiled our women, which is in the form of a white woman, and got our women to start fighting for women's rights.
Yeah.
So our fight or our cause became the secondary priority to the woman, and they left us to fend for ourselves.
Yeah.
Once they started fighting for women's rights, they seized those women's rights, but then that white woman went back to her husband. But because our women had rights, they didn't come back to their husband. They didn't need them. Why? Because the government is giving them everything they need. The government has given them everything they need, but really need to destroy themselves.
They take the kids and they do their own thing, and they get government assistance. to
Right.
adopt the kids.
Right, and I'm gonna raise the boy to be emotionally weak, physically weak, right? There's gonna be no example of a man, right? And he's not gonna want to be a man. The daughters are not gonna need a man because they didn't grow up knowing what the value of a man is, and they're gonna grow up manly. Because why? I seen my mama wearing the pants, so I'm gonna wear the pants.
My mama didn't need no man, and I don't need it.
Facts. Go
By
ahead.
herself.
Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad,
Right? Oppression should make a wise man mad. Go ahead.
and a gift destroys the heart.
But a gift, like WIC,
Right.
like housing, it destroys your heart.
These
I don't have to respect you because the government is paying my rent. Why would I respect you?
You're not doing it.
You're not doing it. But the respect should come based on what he has to offer in the form of this society. It should come as him being a man in general, him being a man of your nation, him being a father to your children, right? Him being a staple in your community.
Right.
That's what a respect should be established, not because X amount of dollars on his paycheck.
Give me this.
But we would have have-nots for so long,
Once we start having stuff by way of them, you can't tell us nothing now.
You see dollars.
Right, that's right.
Like you said, they all come from Willie Lynch when they used to take the most strong, masculine man
and buck break him in
Right.
front of
Yeah.
him, and then take away his manhood. So now his woman looking at him like, what you gonna do? Stand up for us?
Right.
He's so mentally messed up, so she feel like she gotta take matters in her own hands, and that's how she observe herself equal or over him.
That's creating that division between our people, right? Go ahead.
This is 1 Timothy
1 Corinthians 11.
chapter 2, verse 9. In like manner also that the woman adorn themselves in modest apparel.
What should our women wear?
Modest apparel,
Right?
with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair or gold or pearl or costly array.
So our women should be adorning themselves in modest apparel. It's like the complete opposite of what Megan Thee Stallion wears.
Right?
The complete opposite of Erica Banks. The complete opposite of any of the Beyonce. The complete opposite of these things they be wearing. Right? You should be covering yourself because your body is for your husband. And your body is protected by your father until you get a husband. Right? Your hair is your glory. You should be covering that because that's for your husband. Right?
Would you eat a candy unwrapped?
Right. Would you want if somebody just come and hand you some raw chicken, or you gonna take that home and fry it up? Nah, I want mine wrapped up,
I'm good.
protected,
No, thank you.
covered.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead, Ken.
But which becometh women professing godliness with good works. Let the woman learn in silence.
Let her what?
Learn in silence.
Now we're not saying that our women don't have value when they don't have a voice, so they don't have to speak. But the leadership and the final say so or the authority should always come from the man. Right? Go ahead.
With all subjection.
With what?
All subjection.
And you should be in subject unto your own man, your man of your nation. Who is going to exalt our man, our people? How is our people as a whole going to get back in order if the man don't want to respect or the women don't want to respect the men? Now, respectfully, the men have to give you something to respect. We have to do our job too.
That's right.
But at the same time, a man that's doing his job, trying his best to be a father, provide for his family, and be a stand-up staple in his community as well as his household, he deserves the utmost respect, right? Especially more than you would give the government, whose sole job is to keep you divided, right? Go ahead.
This is Titus chapter 2, verse 3.
Bring it out.
The aged woman likewise.
So what?
The aged woman likewise.
So as you grow and mature, right? Go ahead.
That they be in behavior as becoming holiness. Not false accusers. Not
Holiness means to be set apart. They should be behaving themselves like something that you don't see on a regular. The rest of the world should be moving a certain type of way, but an aged woman that's keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments she shouldn't be jamming Megan Thee Stallion. She shouldn't be scrubbing the ground. She shouldn't be twerking. She shouldn't be in the club with a damn blonde lace front on. No. Go ahead.
not giving to too much wine.
Not what?
Giving to too much wine.
She shouldn't be drinking Casamigos. She shouldn't be drunk enough to where her feet are falling over and she walking on the side of her heels. She peeing in the parking lot. She shouldn't be doing that. Go ahead.
Teachers of good things.
Teachers of what?
Teachers of good things.
What's good? Give me Romans 7 and 12. Quick on the sword. Teachers of good things.
This is Romans chapter 7, verse 12.
Bring it out.
Wherefore the law is holy.
The what?
The law is holy.
The law will make you set apart, like we said the sister needs to be. Go ahead.
And the commandments holy.
And the commandments are holy.
And just.
And just.
And good.
And good. The laws of the Most High God is what's going to make our women resemble a Titus 3 woman. Right? Go ahead.
Okay. That they may teach the young woman.
They may what?
Teach the young woman.
You got to teach these sisters how to be Proverbs 31 women.
That's right.
Titus 3 women. Because
That's
they
right.
never seen it before. The only influence they getting is from music. It's from TV. If Gabrielle Union is the influence for our women, we doomed. If Megan Thee Stallion is the influence for our women, we doomed. If Beyonce is the standard for our women, we don't stand a chance as a nation. Go ahead, King.
To be sober, to love their
To
husband,
do what?
to love their husband,
Hot girl summer.
to love their husband,
Twerk and shake that thing.
to love their husband,
To go out and have a girls' night out or a girls' vacation and freak off with the brothers on different islands.
to love their husband,
Go ahead.
to love their children,
They're what?
their children,
Because that's your legacy. That's your heritage. Your children is a representation of you.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
to be discreet, chastity,
Uh-huh.
keepers at home,
Do what?
keepers at home,
Keepers at home. You should keep up your house, your family, right? You should maintain your husband. You should maintain your children, right? There's no reason for your son to have a snotty nose and you got on a Birkin bag. That don't make sense. There's no reason for you to have a wig installed and your little boy ain't got a haircut. Go ahead.
good, obedient to their own husband,
So what?
obedient unto their own husband,
No, they boss at work.
their own husband,
No, they single homegirl that tell her everything to do.
their own husband,
Their own husbands. Right? Go ahead.
that the word of God be not blasphemed.
Let the word of God be not blasphemed. What you got? All right.
1 Corinthians 11.
Come on, give me that Judah 10 and 19.
1 Corinthians 11. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
So this is Paul saying, be ye followers of me because I'm following Christ. And we would say the same thing. Follow me as long as I'm going verbatim law, statutes, and commandments. If I start telling my own doctrine or saying something that's from the pit of my belly, don't listen to me, right? But as long as I'm saying, thus saith the Lord, you should listen because it's not coming from me, it's coming from a higher power, right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things,
Uh-huh.
and keep the ordinances and
What?
the ordinances.
So there's an order, there's ordinances in our nation. And it's going to proceed to tell you that. Go ahead.
As I delivered them to you.
Uh-huh.
But I would have you know
Uh-huh.
that the head of every man is Christ.
So the head of, just like we saying that y'all got to be in subjection and we y'all head, we have a head too. And that's Christ. We got to do what Christ says. We don't have the leisure to go out here and do what we want to do. Not a righteous man. Now, what we want to do should coincide with what the Most High told us to do, right? But we can't wing it or go out and do it how we see fit. We got to do thus said the Lord, right? Go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Right? So this is the divine pecking order, if you will, right? It's Christ, it's the man, it's the woman,
And the head of Christ is God.
and over all that is the umbrella of the Most High God. Christ is not God, he's the Son of God. So there's the Most High, we would call him Yahweh, because that's his name. His son, which is Christ, we would call him Yahweh Shah. Then it's the man, then it's the woman. Then it's our children, because even your children are above the other nations. They don't, a Chinese man is beneath an Israelite little boy. Our princes are above them, right? That's it on that? Now keep going.
Oh, no.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered,
Having what?
his head covered,
Uh-huh.
dishonored his head.
Right? So when we pray and prophesy, we uncover our head to reverence Christ. It's not a law. The book of 1 Corinthians goes on to tell you this is not a custom. This is just something to help you reverence Christ. Right? So keep going.
But every woman that prayed or prophesied with her head uncovered,
So if you praying or prophesying with your head uncovered,
dishonored her head.
you're dishonoring your head. Right? Which would be your father, your husband, or Christ. Right? Go ahead.
For that is even all one as if she were shaven.
So if you praying, sister, you praying to the Most High God, you need to take a scarf out and cover your head to show reverence to Christ. Because if you don't, it's just like you got a clean Michael Jordan bald head. You ain't got no hair on your head. That's what the Bible just said, right? Go ahead.
For if the woman be not covered, let her also be shorn.
Let her be what?
Shorn.
That means like shaven. right? So if you don't cover your head, you might as well cut all that beautiful hair off. What you got there?
So like when he bringing that out, like most women don't really understand. Like we are the men are the image of the Most High.
That's
and,
right.
And the women are like the humble image of us. So when we're coming out bringing the word out, we are the representation of the Most High. And y'all are the representation of us of how to be humble. That's why I said y'all supposed to cover yourself when the words are coming out.
That's right. Con. What you got, King? 10 and 19.
This is Judah chapter 10 verse 19. And they wonder at her beauty.
They did what?
They wonder at her beauty.
Now this is the other nations wondering at the beauty of our beloved sister Judah, right? Go ahead.
And admire the children of Israel because of her.
And they admired our whole nation because of how beautiful his sister was, right? Go ahead.
And everyone said to his neighbor, who would despise this people that have among them such women? Surely is it not good that one man of them be left?
So who would despise this people who have women as beautiful as them? They said, surely at least one of these men should be left to make another one of these girls. That's how beautiful she was, right? That's it on that. Come.
And not even just that, like sometimes like we'll have our wives come out and they'll kind of like be sitting in the shade with their hair covered, taking notes while we come out and teach. So even if like it's somebody who don't agree with what we said, they can at least look at us and be like, well, they got some order over there. You know, they got the women. They're not being loud.
You got a righteous example.
Yeah, exactly. It's a beautiful thing. Even like say if it's a brother that's not in the truth, he can see us and be like, well, he can't deny that, you know, and deny the order that we have, you know.
And it's the order from the Most High God.
Yeah.
We just establishing it. We vessels. He's using us to establish his word on earth, right? And rise up a righteous generation. So ultimately, we can go back to our homeland, right?
That's another thing. I was thinking about this the other day too. Like, you can't find. It'll be hard to find a group of black men all in one group, and they all have their wives still with them and their children, and it's not a broken home. You can't find too many black men and Hispanic men who have full houses, and we're the head of our houses. It's hard to find that in one place. You know?
That's very true. Why? Deuteronomy 28:54, right? What you got, sis?
So do y'all have biblical references for some of these? Because I know you guys kind of read some of them to me. But do y'all have like where I can like find that? Like if like do y'all have anything like a sheet or anything of this like represent the different tribes?
Find
like
them.
read about them.
You
Obviously I know I can open the Bible and read about them.
Right. But you can two specific chapters that deal with the prophecy, and one thing for certain, you're gonna be able to identify these people through what the brother was teaching. Deuteronomy 28, the blessings and curses. And right now we're under the curses. So those curses will apply to all of these nations. Right? So on top of that, the chapter Genesis 49 as well as Deuteronomy chapter 33, it talks about the latter times and where and how these different tribes will be operating in that time. Right? So Genesis chapter 49 and Deuteronomy chapter 33 references the different tribes and the future prophecies in the latter times of those tribes.
And also you can see as we go into different like history books and like accounts in history where, because wherever we've been in history, we always left a remnant.
We always left a remnant of where we was, so you always can find documentation in history and stuff from where we were. Like it's a remnant of us in the West Africa. You can go, like people go to the Aztecs and look at the pyramids and see the Hebrew and stuff. You can learn about the Native Americans and how they had followers of the law. They had fringes on.
Read that. Let me get Numbers 15 and 38.
Okay.
Because I don't even think we brought that law out to the sister. So, sister, next time we see you, you should have a beautiful head wrap on and a dress. Yes?
I do often wear hair wraps.
Okay. But you ain't saying nothing about that dress. Okay.
I have dresses. I just don't wear them often.
Okay. Well, you better be a princess every day, right?
I am a princess every day.
Okay. Princess in britches. All right. Come on.
This is Numbers chapter 15, verse 38.
Mm-hmm.
Speak unto the children of Israel,
Speak to who?
the children of Israel,
Uh-huh.
and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garment
Uh-huh.
throughout their generation,
Right?
and that they put upon the fringe of the border a ribbon of blue.
So you know what fringes is, sister?
Like fringes, as in like actual fringes, or fringes like outskirts of town, like you know.
No, not like actual clothing.
Oh yeah, like the fringes. Like those.
Like-
Mm-hmm.
So this is a commandment that the Most High, if you look around at all these brothers, they have these hangings in the borders of their garment, and then they have a ribbon of blue on it as well, right? Because this verse just alluded to it.
Verse 39. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it,
Uh-huh.
and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them.
And do what?
And do them.
So when you have these fringes on, you go out to the world, they should stop you from being a nigga. They should stop you from trying to be a thot or a bad bitch. You can look on these, be convicted, and be like, nah, bro, I can't do that. I'm a daughter of the Most High. I'm the prince of the power, right? You know what I'm saying? I can't operate
So
like the average person.
should you wear them? So
I'm gonna show you when you should wear them.
okay.
Watch this.
That ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring.
So you can't wear and do your own thing. When you do that, so like when a sister, she's showing off her body, you also causing men to look upon your body and sin, lusting after you. So when you don't cover yourself in modest apparel, like a princess should look, and you're wearing tights, leggings, short skirts, shirts that show your cleavage, shirt that stuff, you're causing men to go off, right? So now you're suffering sin upon them because you out of order, you're causing them to be out of order, right? Go ahead.
I'm going to start at the top. Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their them fringes in the borders of their garment throughout their generation.
Right?
That's what
Keep going.
and that they put upon the fringe of the border a ribbon of blue.
If you said it's like the brother said throughout your generation, are we still generating as a people? Then we got to keep wearing fringes. And it ain't sometimes, it's all the time.
I got a quick account.
Go ahead.
This is
Some
Matthew.
more on that I want.
This is Matthew 9 and verse.
Say something at the end.
This is Matthew 9 and 19. And Jesus arose and followed him, and so did his disciples.
Right.
And behold, a woman which was diseased with an issue of blood 12 years came behind him and touched the hem of his garment.
That him is referencing the fringes.
I got that definition right here.
Go ahead.
This is hem of garment in the Zondervan dictionary. Fringes are tassels on the borders of the Jewish outer garment. So Christ was wearing fringes. That was what she touched.
So she got healed by touching his fringes, right? Go ahead.
You want verse 41?
Yes.
I am the Lord your God.
Now read 40, then 41.
Okay, 40. That ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your God.
Your God, very possessive. Be holy unto your God. Be set apart for your God, because nobody else in this world is wearing fringes the way the Most High told us to wear fringes. Wear fringes, but put a border of blue around it, right? Blue is a color of royalty, right? Go ahead.
I am the Lord your God,
I am the Lord your God. That's the second time he said it, right?
which brought ye out of the land of Egypt, to be your God.
That's the third time he said it, because we don't listen, right? You got to repeat stuff for us, right? He said, I'm the Lord, I'm your God. I'm telling you to do this because I'm your God, right? I brought you out of Egypt to be your God. And then what he finished it up with?
I am the Lord your God.
You see what I'm saying? That's how important that this particular commandment is.
I can tell you 100 times and you still won't listen.
You see what I'm saying? One, we know that we are Israelites. When we step out and see somebody else wearing these, we know that they're Israelites. So it's able to identify. Two, the Most High told us to wear it.
3, so we can look up on them and know we have to keep the commandments, right? It's a constant reminder to stay in the spirit,
Yeah.
right?
There's been so many brothers in the faith that
I ran into because of my fringes, or even these, zeets, the tassels. Like I'll be at the gas station and it's probably a brother that's studying it. He's probably not all the way in it, but he'll see my fringes and then excite him like, bro, what you don't understand? You Israelite too? And then I'll be like, yeah, bro. I give him my information and it'd be a lot. That's how we had debates, all different type of stuff. Just come from wearing fringes.
Hey, how you met us? You seen us standing out here with?
Yeah, but I knew.
Oh man, you already.
Well, I want to thank you.
I'll
for
pray. What's your name, sister?
Janae.
Janae. I'll pray, sister Janae.
Janae.
Janae. Salah. Janae. Okay.
I want to thank y'all for your time.
I'll pray.
I appreciate it.
We thank you for your time, sister. I got one more precept and I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
Give me 1 Peter 2:21.
Turn late. Don't let me catch you. Let's get to 21.
1 Peter 2:21. For even
Lock it. I want 2 Peter 2:21. So the race still on.
Nah, he got it.
I'm here.
Okay.
2 Peter 2:21. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness.
Sister Janae, it was better for you to have not known all of this information that you just got today, right? Are we saying everything from are we freestyling or are we reading this straight out the book? From the scripture. So this is not our doctrine, it's the Most High's doctrine, yes? Okay, so it was better for you to have not known it than what?
For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness, than after they have known it, to turn from the holy commandments delivered unto them.
So, Sister Janae, it would have been better for you to have not known this than to now know this and not wear a
Continue
dress.
to live the way.
Yeah, and not wear a dress.
Okay.
And not wear a hair wrap. And not seeking somehow to get fringes in the borders of your garments. Because now you're not ignorant. Before you came here, the Most High says in Acts 17:30 that the Most High winks at our ignorance. Right? He can kind of, they don't know yet. But it also says that the Most High, a man's or woman's going is of the Lord.
That's right.
And if He dealing with you, you not gonna die before knowing this. Everybody gonna know. And the Most High led you here today to find out that you are a daughter of Zion. And now that you know that, it's better for you, some more on that. It's better for you to have not have known it than to know it and not do it. Right?
But it has happened unto them according to the true proverb. The dog is turned to his own vomit again.
So if you go back to just being a regular and ignoring this understanding, it's like you throwing up, coming back, going to get a spoon, and coming back to eat that throw up with a spoon. That's what it's like. That's what the Most High likened it to, right? Because, it ain't nothing but darkness out here. And the Most High has called us out of the darkness into the marvelous light.
Yeah.
We have to walk according to His word. How else will we be able to navigate in this dark world? What you got, Ken?
24:14.
Con, that's right. Con. Matthew 24:14. What you had?
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world.
And what?
In all the world. For a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
So this gospel gonna be all throughout the earth. You're not gonna be able to get away from it. And now that you've seen us, I'm not sure if you've been familiar with this understanding. I know Kanye was saying a lot. Kyrie posted a link to a DVD that was all about being a Hebrew. Now that you know this understanding, you ain't gonna be able to get away. You're gonna see it everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's the spirit of the Most High moving throughout the earth.
Right.
And His people are being, it says, Matthew 22:14 says, many are called, but few are chosen.
Yes.
The Most High is choosing you to be an example for your sisters, right? If you move in righteousness, you might compel others to move in righteousness, right? So it's a requirement that's put upon you. And it's a burden that you're not going to have to bear alone. Because you have brothers and sisters in arms that's willing to walk with you as well. You can follow us on IG, Facebook, YouTube. We teach classes. We post some of these videos that we're out when we teach.
We have sisters, we have daughters, we have wives. You can come and learn from them as well and really see what a daughter of Zion really looks like, right?
Okay.
You got something? Okay, with that, and you got something, Kai?
Nah.
Hey, with that, we bid you shalom, sis. On IG, it's SUC144, and on YouTube and Instagram, it's just Saints Upholding Commandments.
I got it in my brain because my phone is
I'll praise it.
it's shot.
I'll praise it, sis.
All right, thank
Enjoy the
you.
rest of your. We out here every Saturday too. If you want to bring somebody or you want to come back and fellowship with us, we out here every Saturday.
Thank you.
All right, you have a good day. You too. I'll praise it. Kwame Shala.
Kwame Ashala.
Kwame Shala.
Kwame Ashala.
Kwame Shala.
Kwame Ashala. Now